In this video, we're going to talk about the Dunder copy method. What it is, what does it mean, what's the big deal behind it. So first of all, we have this car class. We have color, model, and year as attributes, and we're going to have this Dunder copy method implemented here. What is that doing? That's going to take the current attributes of the car that we're talking about, and it's going to create a new instance of car. And that's what we're going to return, right? So we're going to return a new object based off the values of the current object, right? So how do we do that? How do we invoke this copy method? Well, we need to do copy.copy. We do it in line number 24. We do copy.copy. Copy is the object that we're importing, which has a copy method, and it expects a parameter, which is the object that we want to copy. That's going to create a new copy, right? Because it's going to run our code, and it's going to assign it to object 2. So if we run this, we'll see that we have the original car, we have the shallow copy. And this is a shallow copy, by the way. The thing to note is that any references to other objects will be references to other objects, not duplicates of these objects, right? So keep that in mind. So the question comes then, what happens if we remove or comment out this copy, Dunder copy implementation? If we run it, we'll see that it still runs and we get exactly the same thing, right? We get an object with the same attributes as the original object. Well, what's happening underneath the hood is that the import module says, hey, does that class have a Dunder copy? If so, run that Dunder copy. If it doesn't have the Dunder copy, what it's going to say is, hey, let's provide a default. And the default is create a new instance by creating a new instance of this car object. Don't pass anything as parameters to the init method. So it's going to just create it plain vanilla, but then it's going to take the attributes of the original object and copy it over to the new object. So it does copy it for you. And I guess you might be wondering, well, what's the big deal then? Why implement the Dunder copy if this is going to be done for you automatically anyway, right? And I'm here to argue that it is more flexible to continue to have the Dunder copy. One, it's more explicit, but we also know it's more flexible. What do I mean? Well, what I mean is, let's just assume that in the parameters in the constructor, the init method, let's say we want to have a label, and let's call that original. And if we do this here and we say label equals label, and then when we create the object, right, the copy, we can say self dot label plus, let's just say, let's indicate that's a copy, right? And in the Dunder string, why don't we say that too? We'll say that the label is label, right? Self that label, that is. Now, we come down here and we do the copy.copy again, and we run this. We'll see that what we get is the original with the label of original, and the shallow copy, the copy, would be contain a label of original copy. So you can tell that we can see some differences now. It's not just a true copy, and we get some more flexibility that's outside of the default. This is something that I wanted to highlight and show. And also just note, just to emphasize again, that in this particular case, we're using copy.copy, which is a shallow copy.